Good evening, welcome to ITV News in the Central region. First this evening, the latest cull of badgers officially ends tonight. The aim is to eradicate the spread of TB in cattle, but as in last year's pilot in Gloucestershire, it's proved controversial, as Ken Goodwin explains.
The pilot badger culls in Gloucestershire are to see whether shooting badgers reduces the amount of TB infection in cattle. The National Farmers Union says it feels the cull has gone better this year than last.
We'll achieve enough reduction in badger population to have some control of disease. If we look at last year's figures, we managed to remove 2.73 badgers per square kilometre. So even though that was branded a failure last year, but it was hugely more effective.
But anti-cull campaigners say when the figures are released, they'll show that this year has been a failure too.
They've clearly not got the figures shot. The government moved the goalposts themselves this time by offering such a wide range of target figures for the cull, and they've not made any promises about whether they will finish the cull on time. So I can't see how it can possibly be described as a success.
Opponents of the cull argue that vaccination is a better way forward, but the government says that with more than 26,000 TB-infected cattle having to be destroyed in 2013, a cull has to be a big part in the strategy to reduce the incidence of infection from badgers to cattle. Ken Goodwin, ITV News, Gloucestershire.
Around 20,000 people completed the Great Birmingham Run today. Kenyan Joel Kimatai came first in 1 hour, 1 minute and 39 seconds. The fastest woman was also from Kenya. Pauline Wanjiku did it in just over 1 hour 10. The fastest Brits were local lads Toby Spencer and Martin Williams from Solihull and Wolverhampton respectively. Meanwhile, Stephen Bazell from Stoke-on-Trent broke a new world record for completing a half marathon in fancy dress.
My son was born with a congenital heart problem. Very complex, and he was treated at Birmingham Children's Hospital. He's had 2 open heart life-saving operations, 1 keyhole, and I wanted to do something to fundraise for the hospital.
I'm so proud of him. So proud.
You've been through a lot.
We have, and I knew he'd do it for Thomas, but I'm so proud of him.
Oh, let's move on to the rest of the weekend's football action now.
ITV Central Sports Report, sponsored by WeWantAnyCard.com, the Cash for Cars website.
We start with this afternoon's 4 o'clock kick-off at Stoke City. They won 2-1 at home to Swansea City. The visitors got the lead just after the half-hour mark with this penalty by Wilfred Bonny. That was after this foul by Ryan Shawcross. Just before half-time, Stoke were awarded a penalty of their own, which Charlie Adams scored from the spot, before John Walters gave Stoke the winning goal in the 76th minute. And moving on to the rest of the weekend, it hasn't been one of the best for our West Midlands sides, with none in the top 3 leagues managing a win. Joe Davis looks back at how our Premier League and Championship teams got on.
Aston Villa arrived at Goodison Park hoping to end their run of 3 matches without scoring. By the final whistle, Everton had put as many goals past Paul Lambert's side. Seamus Coleman's 76th minute strike, the third to find the back of the net, with no end to Villa's goal drought in sight. In the Championship, Birmingham welcomed Bolton and their new manager Neil Lennon to St Andrews, and it was Lennon who left the happier manager after his defender Matt Mills scored the game's only goal in the 20th minute. Birmingham were reduced to 10 men in the second half after keeper Darren Randolph was shown the red card for this challenge. Wolves started the day well at Millwall. A comfortable win looked likely after Bakary Sacco secured the visitors' 3rd goal at the Den, but the home side fought back with a goal from Lee Gregory and 2 from Ricardo Fuller. The final score, 3-3.
Well, pretty windy for most of us out there today. Let's see what's ahead in the coming days with Helen Plint.
Hello again, good evening. Well, for the most part, we've been very fortunate with the temperatures in October. It stayed largely warm, but over the next 24 hours or so, feeling much more autumnal. We've got some blustery showers on the way. They do allow for some brighter breaks, but it will feel considerably cooler too. In fact, this was the picture today. Temperatures up around 19 or even 20 degrees in the sunshine for many of us. And overnight, staying mild again, hitting 11. But come tomorrow, that's when they really do take a tumble, as I say. So only 13 degrees Celsius, which isn't cooler than it should normally be for this time of year, but certainly chillier than it has been of late, as I say. Overnight tonight, though, a largely dry picture for many of us. We do have some showers tracking their way southeastwards, but they won't amount to much, and drying out later in the evening. So even some clear spells possible later on. But come tomorrow morning, that's when we see our next weather system working its way through. So in the morning, the chance of some brighter breaks first thing, but those showers will really track through, as I say. Behind them, though, a chance of some brighter breaks later on. So not a bad end to the day tomorrow. As I say, those temperatures struggling a little more, and some buffeting winds just whipping through, so taking the edge off those temperatures even more. Now, overnight tomorrow night, that's when we will bear the brunt of some much more stormy weather. So a bit of a miserable start to Tuesday, but drying up slightly for Wednesday. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
We're back with bulletins every half hour from 6:25 during Good Morning Britain, and our main programme as ever is at 6 tomorrow night. Join us then if you can, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.